Well, police in the UK have arrested an Egyptian citizen accused of smuggling thousands of people across the Mediterranean. He's also linked to the Migrant boat which capsized and sank off the coast of Greece last week, which killed 82 people. Well, flags above Pakistan's Parliament House are at half-mast in honour of the more than 200 victims who were from Pakistan. Police have also arrested 29 people they say were human smugglers connected to the case. Well, Psaropoulos joins us live now from Malakasa. And can you just bring us up to date with where things are at with the investigation?
Well, at the moment there is a judicial process to prosecute 9 Egyptian nationals who are believed to be among the smugglers. Those people were among the 104 survivors of the June 14th wreck. There's a separate judicial investigation at the Supreme Court level into the circumstances under which the ship capsized and whether there's any complicity by the Greek Coast Guard in that. So neither of these processes have yet produced any publicly announced results, but we expect to hear from them in due course, Tom.
And John, you've been speaking with some of the survivors. What have they been telling you?
Well, some of the testimony we've heard, the eyewitness testimony from people we've been talking to today, confirms that, tragically, there were many minors in the hold of the ship. One of the people we spoke to talked about 100 young people, mostly teenagers and mostly from Syria, boys and girls. Somebody else we spoke to talked about even younger children, 3, 4, 5 years old. And apparently there were 6 Syrian mothers accompanying some of those children. Others were traveling with cousins, uncles, and fathers. As you know, only men survived this wreck, presumably because the women and children were, as has now been confirmed to us, below decks. Some people say that they were at the bottom of the ship in the hold. Others told us that they were on the second level, immediately below the top deck. They may have been divided into 2 groups. But the question of whether the Coast Guard played a role in the sinking of this trawler still remains somewhat blurry, because one of the people we spoke to believes that there was no tow rope attached to the trawler before it capsized, that it did so because its engine had failed and the lack of forward motion caused the ship to sway from side to side much more violently than it had been, but that it had been doing so throughout the 5-day voyage simply because it was overloaded. It seems that the engine failure was the final blow, and that side-to-side motion simply became too great, and the weight of people shifted inside the ship once that motion had become too great. Another witness, however, who survived this wreck, told us that there had been a tow rope attached, that the Greek Coast Guard offered it in order to help these people reach shore, and then cut it off before reaching the shore, because the Coast Guard was apparently afraid that the tow was causing the ship to sway side to side so violently. But after that rope was cut off, it swayed even more. So we have conflicting testimonies in this, and this is going to be, I think, the central topic of the Supreme Court investigation into the Greek Coast Guard.
Okay, thank you so much. Heartbreaking stories coming there. Thank you. That's Psaropoulos live for us in Malakasa.